Please note, this is just a review of the final work and not an endorsement of the creator. Any opinion or prior action belonging to the creator involved, unless otherwise stated, are not factors in this review. Thank you and enjoy!
Hey guys, StarCraft here, and boy, this might be a new record for fastest time I put out a book, a crowdfunded comic as soon as I got it, but I just got the PDF version for Black Ops Volume 3. Hold on. Hopocalypse. As we continue the adventures of Black Ops with USAGI, Rigor-Tortoise, and Patriot-R. And we'll be getting a new recruit, Commando-G. Command-Dog. Well, of course. Now, this is not, as I said before, this is the digital copy, not the physical one. But got and the physical for the first two, which I've reviewed already. And since this actually ties into Kamen America as well. We both saw that at the very end of it, but how exactly does it tie in? Now, I should point out, it is, okay, I'm not going to say it right now. I got to make this very clear. Going forward, there's going to be a lot of spoilers. This is entirely a spoiler-filled review. And if you haven't gotten your digital copy, or you're just waiting for your physical to read it, don't go any further. For those of you who don't care about being spoiled or have already read the digital version, then you can continue on going. But, okay, you have been warned. Going forward, nothing but spoilers. Kamen America does not appear until the very end, in which case we get Black Ops side of this scene. But you might be wondering, but Tim Lemoners have been pointing out, saying how this, Black Ops 3 is pretty much Kamen America 1.5. And you'd be right. But the funny thing, you're like wondering, but if she's not in it much, how is it 1.5? Well, this connects, in the way these two connect, I actually stumbled upon, and I didn't mention during my interview with them, but it was there and there when they confirmed, something that I kind of considered. Now, my connecting it out felt a bit more like, they just felt like a vibe to it, but they actually told me the true connection. Okay, in Black Ops Volume 2, we had Hare Trigger, and her name was Kanya Lavacova. And throughout the rest of it, we just know her as Hare Trigger, or her first name. Then in Kamen America, we are introduced to Meteor, aka Misha Lavacova. That's right, they're sisters. And that's the whole big part of this story, is actually handling that these are sisters. And, well, let's just say after the events of Kamen America, where she kind of failed, things go a bit, well, it's decided we need to get her out of there. And Black Ops is sent in. How does it go? And again, who is this Command-G and Commando-G that we're introduced here? By the way, he doesn't look like a corgi like he does there. But let's start up, actually. Sorry, because I'm doing it from a PDF. I'm looking at it on the screen, but we get entirely a great recap page. Perfect for those who aren't reading it. Unless you got the omnibus, in which case you have all 3 issues. And just one moment. I'm back. Sorry, work-related stuff. I'm doing this on my break. But, yeah, we open up with on Area 51. Actually, it's right in between scenes during this, where they have just got Carly, but she hasn't awakened yet. But we're having the scientists looking over the buildup of chemosortins or sortrons in her bloodstream. As we basically, things are under attack. People are in there shooting, gunning them down. The group known as Ninjin, as they come in blasting and they blow a big hole, make their way in, and they find some mysterious figure in the shadow. We have no idea what it's about. And then we're in Arisha, Syria, present day, as a group of commandos and their dogs and their command dogs are all there in the midst of battle. We have one saying, "Commando B, get him! Commando D, go!" Bites the other guy. Yeah! Commando G, sick him! As the Commando G runs in, then goes into a cave, sniffs, and realizes something's about to happen and barks, giving way to his handler, who realizes what it is and says, fall back, fall back. Boom! The guy blew himself up. As he's all like, good nose you got there, buddy. I love dogs. I love dogs. But yeah, they basically get a call that said you are to return to base ASAP and bring Series G with you. As he enters in, we're introduced to Agent. Hold on, let me just double check. I had the name, and then I lost it. Agent West. That's I thought what it was. I almost said Miller. That's why. Agent West, who we were introduced beforehand in Volume 2. And basically he's looking over photos. I should point out, this is Sawyer Millius, the main handler for Commando-G. And he's taught a bunch of all the other Commando dogs. But particular G he is the best of the best. Best in the series due to his skill and intellect. But thanks, of course, to his rapport with Millius. So then it's decided. I love what he points out. I always like how canines outrank their handlers. That is a good military tradition. But yeah, he's bringing over to Black Ops. Now wait, you're probably wondering, but isn't Black Ops for those special animals? Well, remember we have Rigor-Tortoise, who's just a normal tortoise who's enhanced. So far, the only enhanced people are creatures. Animals are USAGI and Patriot-R. So, yeah, he's not going to stick out that much. As they are then brought into England, where they are, they're mentioning how Bentwaters used to be a RAF base. RAF means Royal Air Force. Should have known. But they're using the sub-level things from MI6 to go down there. As he basically explains how a lot has changed since the events of Hare Trigger last year. But it's still all need to know, and he's new. He's soon introduced to Penny, USAGI's handler, who, as we know from Kamen America, she's gone through a bit of a change to look a bit more anime-esque. Although right now you just got her backside. Not that bad looking, I should point out. But unlike last time for first meetings, USAGI and Commando-G, they seem to get along already pretty well, sniffing each other, and it's like, BFF. But when he goes to meet Patriot-R, who is laying asleep on Rigor-Tortoise, a typical Patriot-R, and Commando-G just licks him, and Patriot-R just tosses Rigor-Tortoise right at him. And we're brought up to speed that Patriot-R is feral, no handler, and isn't very social, but the compromise is he has his partner, Rigor-Tortoise. So, who obviously he's being very protective of. But then it's made very clear that while all the others are all through their cryptid catalyzation, and of course Rigor-Tortoise's billion-dollar environmental technology, Commando-G is probably the best field dog in the world, but he's still just a dog. And in light of what's going on, yeah, they're basically trying to expand Black Ops, but he thinks they're going a bit too fast. Although Willis is basically saying, hey, I've got this, all right? I think we can definitely prove ourselves. Just a sec. Millius. Why did I say Willis? Millius. Sawyer. I'll just say the Sawyer. Sawyer. I'm trying to memorize the names, guys. I'm chugging this out fast. But yeah, Sawyer is basically saying, like, I think we can show you what just a dog is capable of. To which he's basically saying, you burned your training wheels as we're brought into the mission. Which, as I said before, it basically describes about how they probably give a bit of a heads up about Kanya Lavacova and explains about, what happened last year. All the while we're seeing Penny going into the field with USAGI. And we find out that the Lavacovas have been stewards for Ningen for 3 generations. Recently, Intelligence made contact with a member, which, of course, is Misha, who, after that botched stuff that happened in Kamen America, is basically now wants to, the heirs are not happy. No one is. And she wants to defect. So she knows all about the family business, especially their work with the cryptics. So they need to go in statewide, as we're also seeing, I love Patriot-R basically using Rigor-Tortoise's shell to get in. And now that I think about it, as we go through this, I might correct myself if I'm wrong, but I don't think we actually see Rigor-Tortoise pop out at all. It's just Patriot-R using his shell. I hope I'm wrong. But yeah, they're making their way in, and Patriot-R, at least he's being a good teammate, and all that still. They're making its way to Lammerchen Castle. And as they're all sneaking in, and yeah, we're making it very clear. Penny is in on the action. She's not just staying at the sidelines anymore. And yeah, she's kicking all kinds of ass. As we find out, Sawyer's a bit when I saw what you're saying training, I thought the more on the job variety. And basically you've been pointing out how, yeah, your field experience may be extensive, but you're not prepared for this. They're a different breed, no pun intended, than what they're used to. In this case, Misha is not normal because she's also very extraordinary abilities. And then it's mentioned how Penny has gone through a whole lot of training. She's already bonded and is the official translator for, or de facto translator for USAGI. But she had to go undergo special training before they let her out. And this was after she took out the Chupacabra in the backup story over here. Or they say, took it out by accidentally squashing it with a car. Or with a truck. Again, I like how everything's all tying together. But yeah, they make their way in. There's Rigor-Tortoise. You can barely see him under the shell. But yeah, it turns out he has guns in his shell as well, as Patriot just slides him in. Yeah, I hate to be that guy. But it also turned out Mishka has been drugged out of her mind. As, basically they're saying, she's been sedated big time, for obvious reasons. As they start to pick him up, and they're saying, you two have to cover the fence while I get Miss Lavacova to the chopper. Get to the chopper! Sorry, I had to say it. As then we're seeing, first we see a clawed hand. If you know about the last book, you know why. As we're reintroduced to Hare Trigger. As the Moss, the main villain and all that, is basically telling her, first the guards are saying, Hare Trigger to Burke. The enemy is inside the castle. Get in their way and try not to let too many personnel get killed this time. I'm not made out of money. And so she sends the men in. She contacts Moss and basically says they have Missy and Missy. She's about to say Mish, but then she corrects herself and says the asset. As then Moss tells them, get out of there. This may be personal for you, but it's business for him. And under no circumstances is she to go after them directly. She disconnects, looks at her missing arm, which if you call from the other, from in here, hold on. Yeah, she lost it. Although not directly by Kazam, it was from Sharpnel. But then she takes her jacket and walks on out as they're all trying to stay alert, trying to get Mishka out of there. And then, well, Hare Trigger shows up and just starts shooting them. Everybody said, Moss, the enemy has spotted me. No choice but to engage. Like, what? I told you to. Okay, sorry, I can't hear you. Gunshots. As Usagi decides to run in, to hide. As well, turns out then there's also guns and everything hidden in Rigor-Tortoise. This is an awesome tortoise. As he starts shooting at all of them, as they all take cover, and and Usagi trying to warn him, saying that you're running out of ammo, and I think he says screw light. I don't get it, but Penny, basically is trying to get him out of there. So puts her right on a cart, and then they start getting the upper hand because again, Patriot-R didn't listen and he ran out of ammo. Sorry. So it then decided to have one be a diversion, the other then go in for the and get Mishka out of there. Rigor-Tortoise shoots a missile, tossing them all around as Hare Trigger is basically saying, the water weasel's headed for the lawn. It has the asset. Intercept. Oh, she's talking to one of the guards. As they're then wondering and saying the team is assembled. They're waiting out there. I love it. Patriot-R asks, your minigun still good? Nope. And Rigor-Tortoise basically says he's out of ammo too. Boy, they don't have that much ammo going to missions, do they? But then, look at this. Patriot-R then pulls out a part of Rigor-Tortoise, hits the button, and blades come out. As he's become one of those spinning blade things, as he basically comes in, starts swinging them around and taking all the guards out. And then Burke basically says, send reinforcements to the west lawn. And, well, then as they come out there, they're like, what is... Oh, crap. As Patriot-R takes them out. They're able to get Mishka out of there, and Patriot-R is trying to contact them. But, yeah. They hear the evacuee is clear, but Penny and Usagi are still there. They're stuck there waiting. So, yeah, they're kind of stuck until another person could come through. But then the interesting thing, they say they escaped with the asset. So Hare Trigger orders saying all remaining ninjas to evacuate the castle. The rest of you search for the other two. And then Usagi comes in, takes out the guards with her. But Hare Trigger took off. As Penny catches up and basically he's in contact and saying permission to pursue, and they're allowed. But get out of there, things start to get complicated. Hare Trigger then starts heading down below, putting a bomb right at the door. And, well, Usagi hears it, stops Penny from going further, and, well, saves her butt. Or they're going to have to go another route. Patriot-R run down with Rigor-Tortoise still on him, and now he's deciding where did he go? The commissary or the infirmary? And given his stomach, he decided, I guess, to get food. So yeah, they're still in contact with Penny, trying to figure, explain for them how to get out. All the while, Sawyer's asking him questions, basically saying, Hare Trigger has been loose in those tunnels for quite a while. Is there any chance Penny can catch up? To which, well, of course, West says, by yourself, not a chance. But thanks to USAGI's heightened senses, much better odds. As they explain how this whole thing was dug out during World War II by the Axis. We then say how Mishka is stable in the infirmary. But as they do, she opens her eyes and her eye looks different. Very not, because if you recall, in Kamen America, when we saw her eyes were two colors. Because again, their eyes change colors. And, oh wait. No, never mind. Her eyes look fine. It seems. As she comes on out, I like in the back you actually see a poster for Kamen America. But yeah, Mishka comes out, walks on over to the guard, takes out a scalpel, and well, kills the guard. He takes his card, swipes it, walks on in, opens up a something. We don't know what it is yet, but it's some hidden case. And she seems dazed, like, well, she's drugged. And she keeps on walking, and well, Patriot-R and Rigor-Tortoise notices and goes after them. And well, things again. It seems for a moment again she's still just like, I'm a zombie. But then she glares, smirks, and runs. I do like it. Of course, it's the whole thing of it's a very short hospital gown, and yet of course we never see anything. Of course, but yeah, great action again. Just going after, and then finds the dead guards. Except for one who then opens her eyes and takes him out from behind with the briefcase. Wait, where'd Mishka go? So, of course, Patriot-R, before he's so dazed, he throws, and before he passes out, he throws Rigor-Tortoise at the break glass in emergency, activating the alarm. Meanwhile, down below, apparently Hare Trigger, the two sisters are together. What? Okay, this seems a little confusing, doesn't it? All will be explained. But basically, the two sisters are talking back and forth, and basically saying like, if you wanted me to run a marathon, maybe you shouldn't have trained my brains out. To which is basically saying after you're stunned, you're on the Russian job, didn't leave much choice. As the two are bickering back and forth, as we find out that Mishka has been wanting to be special for so long. She was bigger, stronger, and fast than all the others. She was the top of her class, but compared to her older sister, not even close. And even her sister says, it's not enough to be the top of the class. You must be a class all your own. And again, they basically say, if you don't have the stomach for this, you're going to wind up dead. Again, she is being a sister to her, but basically still being a sister, saying, you still got to be on our side. And we can't have you defect to the Americans and giving away their secrets. As, of course, I love this. The Americans, they're not bad people. That's just the morphine talking. Again, I love the writing in all this. Penny then makes their way down as basically saying how Comp's going to be spotty going forward. As they're sneaking through and all that, obviously USAGI is using his thumping to try and get some echoing and listen in. And okay, we see she actually gets a little secret as Penny starts pulling open the door. I don't get what he's trying to say there. Shortcut. Finally got it. Shortcut. You don't say. As there's a secret passage inside a secret passage. Thank goodness he's got good ears. As they start making their way through, and then of course Penny realizes, I don't think you got the asset, and the asset y'all got is the real Misha. I keep saying Mishka. Misha. And was like, no shit! Or no fuck, whichever one. And now him and Sawyer are barricading themselves, and he's saying, here are the last line of defense. Every exit has been sealed with the locking mechanism. The only way now is through this room. And they're going to have to go through them. And basically then saying what is it, sir? Brings up the July 3rd incident that I glossed over beforehand with Need to Know. And basically is known as Mimic Nautilus, who is basically a air officer present at Roswell. Got hit by something and it changed him. And basically he can alter his appearance to match any DNA profile he has direct contact with. Blood type, fingerprints, all that stuff. He is a shapeshifter. And but then he went rogue and took a higher bid from a foreign power. Then it looks like he got Yeah, they say, oh, it says there, we caught him several times, executed every single time too. He imitate the death blows on his body, stop his pulse, and wait till he was in the fridge or the ground, and then get up and walk again. Basically, was then decided to lock him up and study him until they sprung him before. Sawyer's not happy that he only found out about this now, but of course, again, he was, they don't spill the bean, the trainees, as someone's at the door saying, let me in, sir, open up, we need medic. And camera's been disabled and all this stuff, but they even say this, Mimic can't talk. So they open the door to let him in, and yeah, and that's the big thing, he can't mimic voices. And if you notice, Misha wasn't talking at all at any point because seemingly doped out of their mind. So yeah, guys basically saying, it's bad, real bad. But Commando-G notices the unconscious guy and starts barking, and it reveals, oh yeah, he faked being injured. And basically, he has a case, he starts shooting everyone, even knocking down Sawyer and getting him above the eye. Then he says, Commando-G, sick him! And I love this dog. We then see Hare Trigger realizes they're being followed and throws a bomb right at Penny, causing her and USA GI to jump out. USA GI takes his knife, throws it, and Hare Trigger deflects her and starts shooting. Penny is then trying to figure out, trying to go for a gun, but she's pinned down. So yeah, then you see, and she can't do anything at the moment. And Hare Trigger about ready to shoot USA GI, basically saying, I'm owed compensation. Oh no, she's about to shoot Penny. And then USA GI runs, doesn't seem he's going to make it, and then fire shoots out. It's Misha, who's basically saying, I'm going to do whatever I want. Does a big explosion, a blast, I should say, at her sister, knocking her into the water as she swims out. USA GI frees Penny and asks, what was that? And basically Misha says, pyrokinesis, something I got recently by a freak accident. Did your intel not mention that? No, didn't mention there'd be two of you either. And basically, they're trying to contact CENTCOM and find out, they got trouble of their own. And as they make their way out, of course, Misha says, that thing, the doppelganger, if it's loose in your base, then your comrades are already dead. As things start going bad in a hurry. As Mimic knocks Commando-G down, Waz starts shooting at him, hits him with the case, takes up the case, and walks out. But Commando-G isn't going to stop him. Mimic points the gun at him, and West takes the shot. With his dying breath, he said, and running out of bullets too, and taking the last bullet from the gun. His last words to Commando-G are, good boy, as he dies. Sawyer gets up and sees it, and he is ticked. Basically they go looking for him, and nothing. Yeah, and they got there, the trail went cold. Mimic had escaped with whatever was in the case. And basically, yeah, Sawyer feels like not only did we fail, we cost Agent West his life. He didn't think they belonged there. And we're then reintroduced to the other guy from this book. This guy, he's been the one who has taken over for him, and basically saying he was a deacon at his church. Always told him the same verse, John 15:13. Greater love has no man than this, to lay down one's life for his friends. He understood and probably understood this applies to man's best friends too, as we find out he was a dog owner. That explains so much about why he's been with this project. And basically, yeah, if they accept it, they'll complete their training. As the acting director now basically says, I fully expect you to be joining us. And for what it's worth, I'm sure Jim would want you to see this through. As Penny is basically like, y'all did the smart thing by drawing the Mimic to a bottleneck, which that's very true. And when asked how's Misha doing, they got the tranks out of her system and debriefed. she basically then decided give him a list of all their potential targets, but her sister kept her out of the shadier dealings, unfortunately. So couldn't tell him much else that could stop, find Moss or whatever. But she then decides, it's been decided she's let go, and we see her meet up with Carly. And the only person she says is a friend. Then we meet up with Moss, who basically is giving Hare Trigger the rundown of saying, your insubordination have caused both of our organizations a very valuable asset. And basically then, again, she's like, oh, I'll reimburse you. Money's not the point. She knows too much. And yeah, basically, of course, point out, she never had all the details. She has nothing vital that will stop you. And and of course, Moss is saying, how uncharacteristically unprofessional of you. And then they open it up, whatever the case was, and it's a hand that says, oh, I can't even read what it says. But whatever it is, it's phase 2. Whatever it is, it's not good. We then get some artwork by Man Sheng, some design work for Penny's new look. A nice pin-up for Hare Trigger. A great pin-up with Penny with all the other black hops. And this was used for that big pillow they gave out. Another bit up with Penny from Cafoon. And then we get the epilogue. As basically they're at Area 51, and they're even asking, like, you kept Mimic here? He just busted out last July. You all still haven't tidied up? And points out how he emanates radiation when utilizing his skill. So they kept it preserved just in case they could study things. Next to Apex Moss, Dr. Gracie, the doctor from Kamen America, is one of the foremost experts. And well, basically, we're talking about focusing on the Chimeratons, which is the particles that makes up the cryptid catalyzation. In other words, Misha, Carly, and the animals are all connected in this universe. Wow, that's actually very interesting. And then they're being brought in with all the other members of Black Ops, and basically saying how the reaction with human biology has been amended following recent developments. That basically changed how they view everything. And basically, as they're just talking a bit more, wondering what they're going to be doing. And humans who come into contact with it don't always get turned into monsters, but they might actually gain special abilities. So they're about to meet the other one, as we get to the other side of it. As we see Carly show up, and it's like, oh my gosh, they're so cute, which again is where we left off there. But then we get a few more moments. I'm Penelope, USAGI's owner and translator, and she's all like, oh, I'm sorry, didn't mean to be rude. I'm Carly Vanders. The two just smile and yeah. And they are, actually like this. Dr. Gracie tells me I'll be helping you guys with an upcoming mission. I can't wait. Right, and what branch are you again? USO. Oh boy. Whatever. We'll probably find out what that means a bit more, or I might have missed something. But then we get a nice little bit with Agent West, as this is him in the afterlife. He's de-aged, he sits up with all of his animals, as we get a nice from an unknown author. God looked around his garden and found an empty place. Then he looked down upon the earth and saw your tired face. He put his arms around you and lifted you to rest. God's garden must be beautiful. He always takes the best. It broke our hearts to lose you, but you didn't go alone. For a part of us went with you the day God called you home. This book was dedicated to Father James P. West, who passed away earlier this year, Thatcher Lim, passed away also earlier, and Mr. Bennett Lim. All these passed away this year. And then there's the back cover for this book. Wow! They get so better and better with each bit of writing, but this especially, I mean, yeah. Hare Trigger started introducing us to everything, but with all this stuff out of the way and introducing USAGI in the first volume, they just go right off to the races. And connecting everything to here and bringing it into more of the art style that was introduced here has finally kind of brought a cohesion to everything. Now it's been made very clear, if you remember my interview, that things are going to be, that they're not going to be doing much more with Walmart, although don't count any connections being gone. They just want to, of course, focus on introducing more with these two. But again, fitting this in, but without having Kamen directly involved, but explaining how Misha gets involved in everything is very good. It makes this quasi-required reading because at least will tell you how Misha got through, but I'm pretty sure in the next book we're going to have, well, them working together with Black Ops, but also probably been saying like they help Misha out, and that for anyone who doesn't get this book but get the next Kamen America, be like, oh, they happen off screen or in somewhere else, but it's not important, which I like. But yeah, the action, the artwork, everything in this, it's what you expect from this creative team. Tim and Mark are just so good. And as you probably noticed, I really went into detail on all this. Granted, it's also because I flubbed up quite a bit, but for the most part, this was so worth going over. And more so than this, the last time I did a digital review, this one, in Walmart, the last one, was nowhere near as thick, I should also point out. But yeah, this was so good. Once this becomes available on Iconic Comics' website, get it. And get ready, because by a week from today, well, within a week, they should be launching their next crowdfunding for Kamen America Volume 2. And when they do, but link will be down in the description to get yourself prepared and be known when it'll start coming out for once it starts up. You'll be able to get an email notification and everything. So yeah, it's another great addition to this universe. They're the only ones doing these crowdfunding books that's actually made a big expanding universe, and I cannot recommend it more. Check it out and enjoy. And I'll see you guys on the next time. Later.